flexibility options, came up and presented to the board this past Tuesday that we would go with the charter system. So this is not something the board came up with, nor the superintendent. It's being mandated from the state.
Yes, charter schools. I do agree with charter schools. For example, if there's a better consistency to educate our children, charter school is the way to go. And being that it is mandated through the state, yes, I agree, because something has to be done. We've got to make a change in what we're doing now. So my thing is that if the flexibility comes with charter school, let charter school be it, okay? The only thing I would say now is that I need to do a little bit more research on the charter school just to see where they're going to be located, how they're going to be implemented in terms of being effective for the children in a particular area. Now, I know there are charter schools in some other area in DeKalb County, but I'm looking at it, the south side of DeKalb County, which is where I've spent most of my time. I would like to see it be constructed to a point where we all can be part of that system and let it be more effective in our school area.
There's a saying that says, a man without knowledge of his history is like a tree without roots. And while I do applaud the efforts that have been done by the appointed school board, I have 10 years of skin in this. You know, I made choices over the years to make sure that I've learned a lot about how this system, DeKalb County school system, runs. A lot of times, I'm the person who sits on the school board that directs the principal to say, this is how you need to do it. And if you don't do it this way, this is illegal. And I learned that from a charter school called Kingsley Charter School. So does charter work? It does. Can it fail? It can. And my concern with charter is if you don't have the affluence or the people within your community that have the information to make it work. My children are part of a startup charter right now, and we have some of the most intelligent, talented, gifted, and wealthy people in that school system. And it is a challenge. One of the reasons why Southwest DeKalb doesn't have parent participation is because it's a poor working class community. And for those who aren't poor, they might be rich per capita, but you know, they may still be close to bankruptcy. So the point that I'm making is this, is that whether it be a charter program or a public school program, or whatever the program is, it has to begin and start with the people in mind. Thank you.
District 7 and the Clarkston area in particular has a very diverse population. And I think that this diversity poses some unique difficulties in some ways in terms of education goes. There are more than 50 languages spoken at Clarkston High School alone. And I was wondering, it takes a certain type of teacher, I think, to be able to educate children with you know, these types of backgrounds. And I was wondering, do you support hiring additional teachers and support staff who have experience working with students like this and refugee children and their families?
The first thing I want to say is a lot of these children, their parents are refugees, but most of them were born here. And when they're stopped on the street or when they're looked at, they're brown American children for the most part. And they're not foreign. They are grown up just like myself. I'm a first-generation American. My parents are immigrants, and who would know? So, and the teachers can do what they can do. The question is, can the administration and the board and the staff at the school board, can they support what the teachers need? Can they support the media specialist that needs her assistant? Can they support the bus driver that needs the bus assistant? Because we got it right on the bullying in the school, but what happens to the 90 minutes that the children are at the bus stop walking to and from when there's no bus assistant there to help them? So the bottom line is the teachers can do their job if we just give them the support that they need. Thank you.
As far as the international school that are already built, I feel that we do need to qualify, have more teachers become more qualified in dealing with international students. Hiring more teachers, more qualified teachers, I agree with that. Having someone who may be able to communicate with those children, I agree with that. Because I know as a substitute teacher in the classroom, I've had some international students, whereas if that child did not get on the bus to go to the international center, then they will have to stay in the classroom with me. I'm not an international speaking person, okay? I can deal with them on a level knowing that they are children, and my kindness will go out to them, but I cannot educate them in that particular perspective because I don't understand the language, they don't understand mine. But in the international center, if there's someone even in the school that could maybe communicate with them a little bit more, that would be great. I know we have the ESOL teachers, those who go out and they specialize in being able to work with them by using different types of signs and different type of other communication, verbal communication, if you will. That's fine. But yeah, I think we do need to provide more and more qualified teachers for international students in DeKalb County, especially District 7, where the international area is greater.
That's a great question. I'm so glad that you asked. Just yesterday, I was over in the Clarkston community at a play date with children. And the only reason why I didn't jump rope because my knee was hurting. My knee was a little swollen. But I was going to get out there and do some double dutching yesterday. And just to hear the music, see the people in the community, Samia, and the different people, the McClendons that were there, having a good time, the children that were there, and looking at the different nationalities come together, being able to actually assemble together. Well, guess what? We have already allocated in the 2013-2014 budget $500,000 for language interpreters. We have over 50 languages being spoken in the DeKalb County School District. We have over 140 countries represented. And so it is imperative that we have people who are teaching our children who can meet them again where they are and not where we necessarily are. We have to have the interpreters. We have to have people who can understand the culture. So it's not just the language, it's the culture of the children also. And expect them to come to school prepared and give them what they need in order so that they can be successful. When we begin to look at the mission of DeKalb County, we know that that mission is begin to look at a collaborative effort between home and school. So we're not just looking at what's going on with the school when we're talking about the immigrants and the refugees. We're looking at what's going on in the home, the community centers that are going to be there, going into the homes. And yesterday what I did, I went and I heard the needs. I went to listen, not to tell them, but to hear the needs and to take them back to the board so that we can do something about it.
All right. We got 2 more questions or 1? Okay. Well, this one's for the teachers. You got any teachers here in the room? So recently, the board voted to make a change to teaching contracts and penalize them a little bit, $750 if they leave the district before the contract expires. And I just say that to segue into a question that one of the attendees posed. What will you do to ensure our teachers are paid fairly, including funding their retirement, so they stop leaving for other school systems?
Okay. Since it's the last question, I'm going to stand up. I think a lot of what we have to do is be informed when we're talking about different things. The $750 penalty is not being penalizing anyone. It has already been on the books. It was never enforced. There's a contract. And one of the things that we have to recognize is that contracts, when they're broken, there has to be a penalty for it. We're not trying to penalize teachers. I am an educator. We need to get rid of furlough days. It takes $3 million to get rid of furlough days. We've already gotten rid of 1. We have 4 more in order to go. Teacher salaries. We are looking at that. We are discussing that when we look at the budget for next year. We're also looking at having quality teachers. But when you're talking about a teacher who is juggling 3 or 4 contracts at one time, and we were faced with this last fall, they're juggling 3 or 4 contracts at one time. Your child, your grandchild, your niece, your nephew, your neighbor, his child is in a classroom, and the first day of school, and that quality teacher that got away because we didn't hire that one, we hired another one, we can't go back and get now. We have to invest more money in order to go and find more quality people. So the penalty is there, but nothing is etched in stone. If a person moves, if a person gets married, if there's a baby, there is a way for us to deal with that. So it's not a penalization of teachers. I am an educator, and I will never be for one who's going to penalize educators. Because educators, again, like parents, are the base and the backbone. Every football player, basketball player, athlete that's out there had a teacher and a parent first. So we're not penalizing anyone, we're just enforcing some policy to make sure that teachers are also accountable and that they hold fast to the contract that they're under. Yes.
Excellent question. $750 penalty for breaking the contract. Well, first of all, you know that for someone to break a contract, there's got to be some reason behind that. Number one is that people, teachers, they may want to jump ship because of the maybe unfair treatment that they are receiving at the regular school. It could be from the administrative level down to parental involvement, even some of the children they're working with. Okay, so the $750, get rid of it. Because there are other reasons they could be leaving too. Number one, I look at this, I've been looking at this for quite a while. Teacher may be leaving for the mere reason that in DeKalb County, there is no Social Security benefit being paid to the DeKalb County school. Right. So what I'm looking at is for the District 7 representative to get in the ears of DeKalb County and say, hey, a teacher may want to leave DeKalb County and go to Gwinnett County because I want to be able to retire and draw some Social Security. And if they don't have the DeKalb, it was taken away some years ago. So now's the time from Lee V. Dukes, the possibility of getting on the school board to help bring this back to the DeKalb County School Board so that there may be one incentive, if not others, to bring teachers, keep teachers, retain teachers, high quality teachers in the same county as they've been already. Thank you.
Good job. Good job.
I believe that the teachers have already suffered. I think they have post-traumatic stress disorder themselves, just in terms of what they've gone through. I know several, just as a matter of fact, the principal over at Jolly, he retired early. He jumped ship. The teacher over at, the principal over at Champion, she's leaving on the 18th. There's something wrong with feeling that the $750 that you want to take away from a teacher, there's no reason why teachers in DeKalb County should qualify for free and reduced lunch. There is no reason for that. And that is